local. The 5 o'clock news starts now on Fox 12 Oregon.
The most important thing is that we need to have classes that work for all kids.
An impressive turnout across the state of Oregon today for what's being called a day of action. The View from Air 12 really tells that story today as thousands of teachers and their supporters wore red shirts today and made their voices heard.
They say they weren't asking for raises. Instead, they say they just need enough money to run their classrooms. All this as many districts around the whole state canceled classes. Good evening and welcome to the 5 o'clock news. I'm Pete Ferryman.
And I'm Elizabeth Dinn. While there were many rallies all across the state, the two biggest ones were in downtown Portland and Salem, where a contentious funding bill is being held up.
And we have team coverage tonight. Marja Martinez is in Salem after attending the rally there and talking one-on-one with the governor. But first, let's go to John Hendricks, who was in the midst of that massive rally in downtown Portland. John?
Well, Pete and Liz, the waterfront here was an absolute sea of red as thousands of people here gathered for that rally. Their message, something needs to be done about education and funding in the state of Oregon. By midday, they had gathered.
I'm no statistic on a chart.
Colors striped against poster board helping to convey their message.
We need to talk and people need to listen us.
From Gresham to Beaverton and everywhere in between, teachers and supporters flooded Portland's waterfront. Their numbers in the tens of thousands.
We're out here to fully fund schools.
Everything is at a breaking point.
Their message, Oregon schools are underfunded and overcrowded.
Not every child can learn when there's 47 kids in a classroom. So I believe that we need classes that serve all kids.
If we don't get the funding, it's going to break, and then it's going to be even harder to put back together.
School districts across the state are dealing with increased costs, mainly due to PERS, the public employee retirement system. With the increase comes cuts to school programs and staff.
For years and years and years, we haven't been able to do for kids what we need to do with kids.
The hope for so many here today, lawmakers will hear their voices. And their day spent out of the classroom will soon have an impact in it.
Too many kids in the classroom, too many problems can develop, kids can't learn. It's just defeating for so many.
Those kids need to know that we are there for them and that we're fighting for them today.
Now, depending on the district, today's walkout day may or may not have to be made up. For example, Portland Public Schools, they will be adding an extra day to the end of this school year. Reporting live tonight, John Hendricks, Fox 12 Oregon.
Hundreds of teachers and supporters also rallied in their districts before heading to that downtown rally.
Put kids first! Put kids first!
This was the scene in Beaverton at the 173rd and Cornell intersection. The Beaverton Education Association says they had about 300 people turn out.
We're out here to support schools. In my school, we have 30 kids in my class in this small portable, and we're here to support and fund schools.
I think it's important for our community to see the kids that are affected by this.
Another major rally took place at the Capitol. Here you see from Air 12 video, thousands of educators and their supporters also came together in Salem, demanding funding for education and taking their demonstration right to the steps of the state Capitol. While Salem Kaiser Public Schools did not cancel classes today, students and teachers were let out early, and thousands of them ended up at Riverfront Park in the afternoon.
We're here about numbers in the classroom, class sizes. We need like drug and alcohol counselors available in the school.
Gathering alongside teachers, many of those supporters were staff members like high school counselor Jeanette Aguirre. She told Fox 12 as an alternative ed counselor, she considers herself lucky to have fewer students than the average school counselor. And she tells us she is hoping lawmakers are able to come to an agreement that would lighten their load.
I have about a little bit over 100 students. However, they are all TED students, high risk, high behavior. So I'm definitely on the run all day long.